Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Lisa again, your art teacher. Welcome back to my table of art. As you know, we're making things to help celebrate for the 4th of July. I won't be with you on the 4th of July. You're going to be having a break for about 3 weeks, and then we're going to start up the summer session, and that's when I'm going to see you again. So I'm sending you these videos in the meantime so you keep yourself busy, have some fun, and have fun while you celebrate the 4th of July. So I've already taught you how to make the pinwheels. They were beautiful. Now we're going to learn how to make the lanterns. And these are really very festive. They're really not lanterns that light, but they're festive looking. And we use our imagination that they are lanterns that help guide the light at night to help us see. But we really can't. But they're pretty just the same. So what I want you to do when you decide when you want to make your lantern, to choose your colored construction paper. You could go with red like I did for this one and decorated it with crayons, or you could go with blue construction paper, or you could go with white construction paper. For the demonstration, I'm going to use white construction paper and I'm going to decorate it with markers. So what I'm going to do next is show you what you're going to need to make this beautiful festive lantern, okay? So here's the materials. Okay, boys and girls, for this project, we're going to need a ruler, a scissor, a pencil. Now I'm going to use white construction paper to demonstrate, so you're going to need to decorate it, and you can do that with either crayons, markers, colored pencils, anything that you have to decorate. You can see I put some stars on this lantern. If you have any glitter, you can use the glitter with the glue. It's all up to you. This is going to be your project to decorate as you please. You're going to need a stapler because we're going to need to staple the handle on. If you don't have a stapler, you can use tape, not to worry. Now the colors that you're going to choose are going to be red, white, and blue because we're going to keep this festive for the 4th of July. We're making festive projects to keep it in the spirit of the 4th of July. So whether your lantern's going to be red or it's going to be blue or it's going to be white, those will be your choice colors, okay? So how about we get started with this project with the lesson, okay? Now, if you remember, I told you for demonstration, I'm going to use the white construction paper. So the first thing we need to do is we need to fold our construction paper, not from top to bottom. We're going to turn it what we call the landscape position, which is longer going across as opposed to like a portrait size where it's longer top to bottom. We want it to be longer from left to right. Now we're going to fold it down by meeting corner to corner. Corner, hello corner, to corner, hello corner. Meet the fingers in the middle, slide down to the center, and fold. So now we have a long-wise sheet of paper folded in half, sort of like a very long, narrow book. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is we want to make a line at the open end of our paper, the open end. And the reason we're making a line going straight across is to make sure you don't cut too far down on the paper when you're creating your lantern. So what I'd like to do is measure probably, I'd say a nice even inch. Here's the number 1, and I'm going to go up to 1 inch. Let's slide down and we'll make another marker, 1 inch. Slide down and make another marker of 1 inch. Now what we need to do is we need to connect those dots so that we can see where the 1 inch mark is. So here's the open end and here's our line. Now this bottom piece is going to become the bottom edge of our lantern or the top edge of our lantern because there's 2 ends, top and bottom, and everything else is in between. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about how you want to decorate it. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper because I want to protect my board here, okay? So I'm going to get a piece of newsprint to protect my board. And you can use newsprint, you can use newspaper. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to use markers. And I'm going to go over, I know at some point, I'm going to go over the paper onto the board, and I don't want to mess up my board. So using this line as a guide, I'm going to take my red marker and I'm going to go over that line so it doesn't look like a pencil mark on my lantern. It looks kind of decorative. So I've got these red lines. So now, what should I do next? Should I make stripes going across this way of my lantern? Or should I make stripes going up and down of my lantern? What do you boys and girls think? I think I might like them going lengthwise. So I'm going to continue using my ruler, making lines with my red marker, similar to the red lines in our American flag. See how straight that line came out with my ruler? I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And you can do the same. Just look and see if it's about spaced evenly. And if it's not, it's okay. It's still going to be beautiful. If the lines aren't coming out too dark, I'm just revisiting them. Here we go. And I think I'll make one more here. Some of my lines are thinner. Some of my lines are thicker. See, notice how I went over my paper, and I don't care because I have this scrap paper protecting it. So now if I did this on one side, I'm sure I'm going to have to do it on the other side, don't you think? I think I'm going to make one more line before I turn it over. I'm going to make this line right on the edge. There we go. Okay. So I've got lines on that side, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to measure the 1 inch just so I know where it's going to start and finish. Remember, this is the open-ended side. So let's measure the 1 inch from the edge of the paper in. Measure 1 inch from the edge of the paper in. 1 inch from the edge of the paper in. Again, this is the open end of the paper. Let's connect our dots with a straight line. And using that straight line, I'm going to again cover it with my red marker so we don't see that red line on my lantern. And then using the ruler again, I'm going to make my stripes like the stripes of my American flag. What do you think? These look like the red and white stripes of the American flag? I think so. Now, you don't have to make stripes. You don't have to do anything I'm doing, but you do have to use red, white, and blue, whether it's red, white, and blue crayons, red, white, and blue markers, red, white, and blue colored pencils, and even red, white, and blue paint. So long as it's red, white, and blue, keeping it festive for the 4th of July, then you're doing what I asked you to do, and that's great. You're following directions. Now let me find the cap to my red marker. Now the next thing I'm going to do, remember this is the edge of my lantern. Remember the edges are here and up here. So I'm going to use my blue marker for the edges, and I'm going to start making stars at the edge. Right across. I like stars because it kind of looks like the American flag, but it's a lantern and it's in the American flag style. Stars and stripes forever. That's one side. So go what we did on one side, we're going to have to do on the other side. So we flip it over. And you can make scribbly lines that are red, white, and blue. You can make dots and big circles and little circles if you want to make them. So long as it's red, white, and blue, that'll make it look very festive for the 4th of July. So watch what I want to do. I want to just add some burst of colors in between. Burst of blue. Kind of looks like firecrackers going off. Does it look a little bit like that? Does it remind you of that? Think of what it looks like when they explode in the sky, the fireworks on the 4th of July. Kind of looks like that. I like it. Makes it a little bit more interesting. Be creative. Use your imagination. Do anything you want. But what colors are you going to use? What? Did you say red, white, and blue? Then you're 100% right. Now look at the difference. This looks nice, a little plain, but doesn't that look much more exciting? So let's add some of those blue bursts of firecrackers exploding in the sky at the 4th of July. Very nice, right? Just making dots, little clusters of dots. Using my imagination, it looks like the fireworks exploding in the sky. Now we can also get our red marker back, and we can make it look even more like firecrackers. Look at that. Just lines coming out. Doesn't that look even more like it's bursting? See that? Exploding in the sky, except it's on my lantern. Okay? How about that Katy Perry song? Katy, you're a firework. That's a good song. That's the song that's going in my head while I'm making my lantern. Katy Perry's firework song. Baby, you're a firework. I think that's the words. Okay, how's that look? What do you think, guys? Does it look like firecrackers bursting? Yeah, I think so. Really cool. Okay, so now it's time for us to measure, only because this will make it easier for you. We're going to lay the ruler on the folded side and just measure 1 inch, 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 1 inch. They're spaced 1 inch apart, these lines, these markers that I made on the folded side, which is right here. They are all 1 inch apart. And that's because I want you to now take your scissor, find the mark that we made. Here's the first mark, right there. We're going to cut in to our lantern, and where are we going to stop? Right at that red line. You see that? We're not going to go any further than that red line. Now we're going to do it with the next marker that we made. Cut right in a straight line to that red line. That's 2. You're doing this? Very easy. Take your time. You don't want to go any further than where? That red line is where we stop. Okay, here's another marker I made. That's where I cut, right down to the red line. Next marker is here. Straight in with the scissor, cut down to the red line. I'm going to do that one more time here. Here's another marker. We're almost done, guys. Can't wait to put this thing together. Here's another marker. Straight down. And those of you that don't think you need the markers, you should do it anyway because it makes it nice and even, and you're definitely sure you don't cut too far. All right, so let's open up our lantern. And you see we have all our cuts in between. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of roll it so the one side of the lantern is going to meet the other side. And as we're curling it, we're going to curl it down as we're rolling it, because the one side is meeting the other side. And we're going to overlay one flap onto the other. See how I'm lining this up? I'm lining up my stripe. I'm lining up the top of my lantern. And this is where the stapler comes in. I'm going to staple these two pieces together. Ask for help if you can't do it with your own hands. Ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And now we're going to go to the bottom. I'm going to line these two pieces up. And then I'm going to take my stapler. And don't worry about being perfect. And I'm going to staple right there. So now both ends are stapled. Here's my lantern. Let's open it up a little bit. Okay, so are we done? Well, I have nothing to hang it up with, so I'd have to say no. So now here's another choice that you're going to make. What color should you make your handle? I had a red lantern and I used a blue handle, and then I found a sparkly pipe cleaner and I just stuck that on there too. But what color do you think we should use for this lantern? I think red would look pretty good too. All right, so let's get some red paper, some red construction paper. And we want the band that's going to be the handle for our lantern to be about 1 inch in width. So we're going to grab our ruler again, and we're going to start at the edge of the paper. Put the ruler to the edge of the paper, look where the 1 inch mark is, and make a little marker. We're going to do that all the way down to the other end of this red construction paper. 1 inch. Now, I don't think I need this long of a strip, but I'm going to make my marks on here anyway. And I'm going to connect all my marks with the ruler. Line it all up, top to bottom. Whoops. Here's my dot, here's my dot, here's my dot, and here's a dot. And then make my line. And now I'm going to cut this strip out with my scissor. And this is going to become my handle. At this point, before you put your handle on, you can decorate it. Now, how long of a handle do we need? Not too much. Oh, actually, this is perfect. And this measurement is 12 inches. This is a 12-inch long handle and 1 inch wide. So we're going to grab our stapler again. But we're going to go, remember where we stapled it the first time? We're going to stick the paper inside the lantern and staple on the same side, right here, in the same area. Okay, so grab your stapler and staple it in. So the piece on the inside, the flap is not shown on the outside. It's stuck on the inside, so it's more decorative on the outside. I'm going to curl it up and stick it into the opposite side of the lantern. And we're going to staple that in, making sure there's enough of the flap in for us to staple. Okay? There we go. And there's this lantern. How's that look, boys and girls? There's your 4th of July lantern. All right, hold on.
Well, what do you think? How'd you do? Now, I think that's pretty festive. So if you want, make a whole bunch of lanterns, decorate them, make one red, one blue, one white, line the doorway with them, line your walkway with them. This will be so beautiful and so festive for the 4th of July. You think I'm ready? I'm ready to celebrate the 4th of July. And you will be too when you make your lanterns. So good luck, have fun, use your imagination, and be creative, okay? I'm going to send you the link for this one and all the other things that we're going to be making for the 4th of July to help celebrate our Independence Day, okay? So look for the links for the lantern, our pinwheels, our firecrackers, and that game. Wait till you see the game. You're going to love it, okay? See you soon.